And I'm coming at you at a special time, and we'll talk about why in just a minute. But we're going to talk about what's going on in LinkedIn, some new things that you need to be aware of, client, and then how you can help them take that to the next level. So we love LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is a place where we do see recruiters going. It's becoming less and less, and we'll talk about why. And it's not really recruiters that our clients are just focused on, right? And so we want to make sure that they're in networking in a way that will build their opportunity, not just for perhaps the next job, but even for the future. And that they're accessing many different ways of finding that job, because we know that recruiters are just one way that they might find that job, right? So let's get them off the sidelines, out of that corner, waiting to be asked to play or to dance or whatever analogy you want to use, and really using these tools for their benefit. The other thing I see is that a lot of times our clients write off a tool because they think it's not a fit for them and more, or we don't bring up a tool because we don't know how to use it. And we don't want to hamstring our clients like that, right? We don't want to put them in one place, which may not even be the best place for them, which we'll look at here for a minute. We really want to help them explore what might be the best fit for them, even if it's not exactly. And we'll talk a little bit about how you can do that on really any platform and help someone be successful on it, even if it's not your platform of choice. So here we go. Let's talk now in the job market. What we're seeing is kind of a lot of have and have nots. So you've got some positions that are really challenging to fill right now, and they might be getting hundreds of applications, but they're not finding the right candidate. And so what they're doing is they're going out and they're using these online tools to it. And that, of course, but if you've been paying attention, one of the things that's been going on with LinkedIn is a continual decrease in staff related to their business services. So what does that mean, right? It means that less businesses are investing because services that they can use to find clients that don't have some of the barriers that LinkedIn has and don't have the price tag that LinkedIn has. So we'll chat about that. The other thing that's going on is that there is a tightening of the market in some areas, which means that our clients need to be getting creative. There is no silver bullet. And we know that. We want to make sure we're communicating that to clients. There isn't a silver bullet when it comes to job search, but there are ways that we can help them odds, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. So thank you for saying hello. It's good to see some of you in the chat. My sound is cutting. Let me see and see if we can fix that. I don't know if we can or not, but we can try. Microphone. Yeah, that is, I think, as good as we're going to get on the microphone side of things. It's just the way it's going to be because I am in Kazakhstan. So I am in Astana, Kazakhstan, getting ready to present at the Asian Pacific Career Development Association. It's actually 9 o'clock at night here. And so we'll just have to see what we can do. I don't know that there's anything I can do about that. Let's see here. I'll try this if that helps. You'll have to tell me if that's any better. I don't know that it is, but we can try in the chat if that's any better. Um, the LinkedIn trend I was mentioning. So LinkedIn able, especially in their business services division, which means that businesses aren't using LinkedIn. And there's other trends that show that as well. I mean, the job fight data from 2021 showed that recruiters were backing away from LinkedIn a little bit. It's been happening for a while, and the layoffs at LinkedIn have been happening for a while, not related obviously just to employers, but also to businesses and decreased spend of businesses using LinkedIn as well as a job seeker recruiter tool. Why? Again, because there are so many other things that they can use, many of which might be cheaper and or free here in just a minute. And some of that might be LinkedIn as well, other places that our clients can use LinkedIn. But let's start with the basics. Let's start with, where are your clients' target companies? Who are their target companies first? And then where are they, and where are they active? Now, here's LinkedIn, is that yes, recruiters go into use LinkedIn, but in general, people aren't active on LinkedIn when it's compared to other social medias. The active users or monthly active users, it is like not even on the chart. Why? Because people tend to go there only when they need it, is looking to network with people that might be able to hire them beyond recruiters. It is highly likely that those people are not active on LinkedIn on a regular basis. So we need to figure out, where are they? Are they on a Slack channel? Are they on a Discord channel? Are they in Twitter? Are they on a Facebook group? If they aren't, and this is the hard part about LinkedIn groups, is that there may be a hidden gem every once in a while, but for the most part, people aren't active in LinkedIn groups if they're not active on Facebook. People are active in Facebook groups, even if they're not active on Facebook, because Facebook is that place where people go. Now, I know everybody poo-poos Facebook. Highest daily active user in January of 2023. Not just international growth, although yes, that's part of it, but it's because people of all ages go onto Facebook very regularly, even if they're not posting, even if they tell you that they don't use Facebook. What about groups? Have they thought about that? My guess is that they actually do use Facebook. They just don't think about it that way. So can we ask the question differently and help them do that search? Now, let's say they're just using them LinkedIn they first. We can start there and we can search a little bit differently. I'm going to show you a few little tricks to search on LinkedIn that, one, might give you some people to follow, or not necessarily ideal person for you to follow and interact with, or two, might help you see, like, this isn't where my people are. Now, this came to me a couple of years ago when I was trying to get my husband in as a job search tool, and he said, Marie, engineer, and we did all this work. And he's right. They just aren't there on a regular enough basis for him to network with there. We'll talk about it. But first, let's go into LinkedIn and see what we can find up my sound so that we can look at what's going on here. Okay, so here's LinkedIn. I'm going to show you a few different things on LinkedIn in the search capabilities. There's other things we can do. We can search alumni, we can search companies. These are a few things you likely haven't seen before, because one of them I hadn't seen but last week when Denise Bittler showed it to me. And we're going to talk about why this way of searching can be great and why you might want to search another way too. So let's say you work with someone who wants to work in, I don't know, we're going to go with, let's see if we can find electric vehicles. And I'm going to just hit enter and see what we get. This might pull up a goose egg, but we're going to play around with it a little bit. So over here on the left, after I type in that keyword, this is the sauce, this is the sweet spot from Denise. Thank you. So hopefully you can see that. I made it just a tiny bit bigger. So over here on the left, you have a search result that I had not seen before. Not sure if I just missed it or if it didn't come. And so this shows people who talk about electricals. Gold mine, right? If there are people talking about your client's content, what they're interested in, this could be a great way to find some new people. Now, what I love about this is that it sends you to people that are actually posting so that you can engage with them, and not just people who are on LinkedIn, which is when you only get people that are on LinkedIn. So you can scroll through here and you can find those people who talk about whatever content it is that you and your clients are interested in. Now, if these folks have a huge number of followers, This may not be ideal for them to engage with because will they engage back? I don't know. So this is just one list of people that you might want to engage with based on your topic area. It's just one way to find those people talking about your kind of content. And you would say, Marie, I can find my target companies, yes, but then you kind of have to like skim through and figure out who's actually posting from those target companies. I could find alumni, yes, but you have to skim through who's actually posting from those alumni groups. So this gives you an opportunity to see who's actually active that you could engage with on a conversation and then do that. Now you can do the same kind of thing by um, and just looking at posts. It's going to be a little bit less effective, and but you can see maybe some smaller people that are posting about that topic by posts. And there's a few other ways that you can search. We're not going to go through those tonight, but it's a great way just to think about how can you engage with the people that are active on LinkedIn. And so there's like the number one thing when you're talking with clients that are um, isn't yet, don't worry about content. Worry about conversation. Get in here, find people that are posting on other people's posts, are active and on the platform on a regular basis that are in your industry. And when you do that, then you can see that's going to lead to something. So don't connect right away for people who are active because I want you to have a public interaction before you like people's messaging, if at all possible. So Melanie Denny, who was we're taking our digital branding class, she took our digital branding class and just launched this awesome product. And she was talking about how it's this like we're gonna have a public date before we go, on a more intimate dinner, right? So this public date is us commenting on their LinkedIn posts, commenting on whatever it is, even commenting on their comments to build that conversation publicly before we might message them about and getting into that conversation. So it's not about content, it's about conversation, especially when we're dealing with a job seeker. Now, when actually building a digital brand, which is why I created this social media for job search strategy course because it dives in deeper to the actual like tactical job search only and all the ways that we can use the job search features, but really the ways that we can use all of these social media to start conversations with people who be in our target audience to become that known, liked, and trusted person using social media. Again, it isn't about posting content. In fact, you could do this very, very well without ever posting a piece of content because it's about the conversations and the connections that you're trying to make to build that know, like, and trust inside companies, right? When we teach job touch this networking, but it's using the social platforms to do it. Now, we've been talking about LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is an okay place to do this. Not everyone, and in fact, very, very many people are not active on LinkedIn on a monthly basis, let alone a weekly or daily basis. So you are doing your research here to find those people who are active on a regular basis. And then when you do that, you can have those conversations. Now, of course, you want to make sure you have your profile put together first before you do that. There's been a little recent change in LinkedIn's the way that they do the skills connected to your profile. So let's dive into that here just very quickly in case you haven't seen that. Now, when you go into your profile, you can connect skills to your experience sections. You can connect skills to your about section. This is fairly new too. So in here, you can actually let AI pick the top 5 skills for you. And one of the reasons that I'm kind of like re-energized in beating this drum against just creating an optimized profile is because now LinkedIn is rolling out a feature to everyone eventually where it will use AI to optimize your about section. So writing a great keyword rich about section isn't going to be that pulls your client up to the top of the research results anymore. That's going to have to be in relationships, but it will now tell you which 5 skills it recommends. So if I deleted one of these, then it would suggest them based on my profile. Obviously, you have to have a good profile for it to suggest the right skills, but you can go through and pick the skills that you want and then add whatever that is here as well. And I can just add skill and add whatever I want, or I can use what it's suggested. So that's new in the About section. You want to make sure you've got that filled out. And then the skills that you can connect to each experience section. So you'll notice now in each experience section, you can highlight those skills that you think are most important for that job. And when you go to the skills feature down here a little bit further, it's easiest kind of to do it from that skills area than to do it from each individual job. So I can come into the skills and edit. And then while I'm in this edit place, I can um, to the jobs. So tell us where you've used this skill. I can, click off the places where I've used that skill and places in my education, etc., and then save that. And then I can go down to the next skills and do the same. So for each skill, I can add it to the jobs where I've used it. So it's a pretty cool thing. It highlights those skills per job so that people don't have to just go to the skills section, but it's not going to solve that. People have to get active and they have to start figuring out where to go on LinkedIn to get active. Now you can search groups on LinkedIn, like I said, but LinkedIn groups are not very active because links don't notify people very well when there's activity in a group and because groups kind of became a wasteland. So in groups, see what you can find, see if you can find some active ones. And then I just encourage you to have your clients find other places where their target companies or their industries are active. And while they're networking, this could be one of the questions they ask, right? What other places are people using to connect online? Are they using professional associations? Are they using a Slack group? They using some of the can connect in and find things. And then I really would encourage you to go to Facebook, search the groups, and see what's available for your client because this is one of those things that people aren't thinking about that is a gold mine. And it's especially a gold mine for our clients who are in like the small companies. I mean, if you're a small company, right, you're not going to pay $8,000 a seat, or it's even more now, I think, for for a LinkedIn seat. You just aren't. But you could go to a Facebook group and especially a community Facebook group. Let me get into my personal profile here. So you can get into Facebook group as a small to medium sized company and post your jobs for free and people will be engaged, right? Especially if it's in your own community, it's their community group. I tell people to check your local community groups, your local business community groups, because there's a lot going on there. But then there's all professional groups, technology user groups, coder groups, almost anything you can think of. There are groups where people are there connecting at a professional level and recruiters. I tell you what, we do a job market class as well as our social media job search class. And in both of those classes, the recruiters that take those classes tell me that they do this. They go to Facebook groups, they engage with people, they find opportunities. So, how do you do that? Well, you can go to groups over here on the left and you can search groups by keyword, right? You can search groups by location. You can search them by keyword. You can search them by the type of work your clients do. And there's just so many opportunities. And remember, I told you, my husband did some work. Nobody's on LinkedIn, he says, but where are they? They're in a Facebook group of his technology users that are there constantly every day engaging with each other and talking about the technology in a very informal way, an opportunity to build those relationships. But it's there on Facebook, which you just wouldn't, I would not have guessed that for his type of engine's work. right? Blue collar work. And that's where he found these people. So you don't have to be active on Facebook to be active in a group separate that doesn't show up on your public profile. And they're just so much more engaged than groups on other platforms because Facebook prioritizes them. They give you the announcements from the group easier and all of those things. So I just encourage you to go on here, research with your clients, see what's available, check out Twitter. Just don't be hindered by what you know or what you think, because LinkedIn is not the place for everybody to engage with their audience. Do some research with them, figure it out. Maybe it's on TikTok. Guess what? You don't need to know about TikTok to help them do what they need to do there because it's pretty much the same. Find your target composting, engage on their posts, start the conversation, get it going, right? Stay consistent. The platform doesn't matter. The process is the same because you're building relationships, you're building engagement, you're building nobility by having that conversation with people, and you can do it anywhere. If you want to process, do it on and to do the research and to figure out where you go, and you want a little bit of, some insight, other platforms more in depth. How do you do that? How do you set your privacy, etc. Do in our social media job search group, and we'd love to have you in there if you're interested in what that looks like and how that feels. We'll show you a little bit more of that next Tuesday when I'm back home and have more of my technology put together. But we'll go through some of what those resources look like next week. If you're interested, feel free to tune in there or drop me a note and I'll send you the video afterwards. So I hope you all have a great day. I'm in the future already at Tuesday night here in Kazakhstan, and I'm going go to bed. So excited to learn more here about what's going on in this part of the world in the career space and to share some motivation research that I've been doing from career thought leaders with them. I will see you all next week, and I hope that you'll join us and talk more about the hidden job market, social media for job search. We'll see you then. Thank you.